All right. Good night. Welcome to Diversified Diecast. I've been talking about what we're going to open up next for, it feels like 5 videos, probably at least 3 or 4. We finished up the VW series, finally got that knocked out. But tonight we're going to have 3 Ultra Hots that I kept really from myself. I got rid of a bunch of them. I initially had probably 20 or 30 at one time from the newer variants, 23, 24, 25. And I initially started keeping the double die cast ones, but I kept 1 or 2 more that I just liked. And this one right here, I think it's Monte Carlo. Don't quote me on that, but this is a gift from a trade buddy down south. And then I have 2 of the new hot ones. I love the BMW M1 Pro car. For one, it wasn't mass produced. It was basically just homologation, slightly beyond. So I decided to get it and keep it. It's not a double die cast; it's plastic base. And then we have a second gen Camaro. I think it's the late 70s. 3 Hondas that came in the mail that dropped Friday, which was yesterday. And then I have a double diecast 70 Chevelle SS, which is a really nice car in casting. It'd be really nice to see that thing out of the package. And then sneak peek for what's coming up beyond this. It probably won't be tonight because it'll be too late. But we'll do. I have 4 cool classics here that I've kind of got collectively over the years or over time. This is the most recent one. I got this from a guy I buy and trade from with. And then this one, I'm not sure where I got it. It may have been from someone up here north of Conroe. And I'm really excited about this car. It's a 64 Falcon Sprint. My dad had one. My parents were first together. That's a whole nother story. I'll get into that when we display it. But this will be a real nice treat. It'll go up there with his stuff. And for the next one beyond that, it'll probably be a 2-part, maybe even 3. Everything has been in a clamshell. Everything has been in a protector. And all those black and white tote, or the black and yellow totes. Done with all that. I'm tired of storing cars. Tired of not being able to enjoy them. Want you guys to see them. This is like my prime Porsche collection that I kept on cards. There's nothing in there that's too spectacular. You know, it's not like jaw dropping. There are a lot of nice ones in there from all different years, dating back as far as there's some in there from the 90s and 2000s, and there's probably half a dozen to 10 from 2015 to 2017. I noticed that a lot of those cars, even the main lines, have a lot of detailing front and rear on the tampos. And there's a couple Silver Series type Porsches in there, and like, if you will. But I'll probably work on this tomorrow when I have some time after we get our obligations and chores done, if you will. It may take me a little while to get through that one. But back to what we're working on tonight. This will probably be, I'm going to guess, probably a 30 to 40 minute video. Again, that's what we have the fast forward and drag back. If you want to check it out, great. You don't want to see the Ultra Hots, you can go to the Hondas in the middle. You don't want to see the Hondas, you can go to the Ultra Hots and go to the other ones at the end. So let's get into it. I was going to apologize for the white dog hair all over the turntable last night and today, for that matter, on the VW videos. I have 2 white dogs. One's a Whippet Beagle. He's an old guy. He's about 12. His name's Rocket. And then I have a 2-year-old Border Collie Aussie mix, which it's basically just a miniature version of a Border Collie. That was her hair pretty much all over. Her name is Zoe. If I can ever get her to come around here, we'll get a peek at her so I can introduce y'all to her, and Rocket for that matter. Something else I did notice too, fun fact, we were filming the bug session today, and I put background music on from it's on Swedish Rally Channel. They do a little bit of all kinds of coverage on rally cars, and I picked the VW for the sound because it's predominantly just VW sounds, and then going all around all the tarmac and gravel and forest and what have you. But the noise canceling portion on this mic, it did its job. So if you're wondering why the Beatles VW session, the last 7 to 8 minutes of that video, is stone silent, except me making a few comments, that is exactly why. Because I left the mic down here below the tripod mount, so he could hear me, obviously. And I had the TV on probably 10 or 11 right here above my head on my shelf. I really thought it'd pick up something, but I didn't hear anything. I had this TV, we were watching the video on like 25, and all I could hear was, me moving the cars around. So if I do that again and try it just to see how good it works, I may stick the mic up there near the TV just so it picks up some of the sound, just to see if it works. Again, that's going to be a trials, tribulations, drudge effort, if you will, to check this thing out, this bootleg audio equipment I'm working with. But we'll get rolling into all this. I know I've been wanting to crack these things open because they've been on my desk, except the Hondas, for it feels like a week. I want to get them out of the package and check out the Ultra Hots, because I know I may have one or two out of the package, but that GTO is supposed to be really nice. I've seen it on a few videos, and under this light, just through the blister, it looks really good. The AMC Javelin is also supposed to be really nice too. Those two I know for sure are double diecast variants. So a lot to look at tonight. We'll get knocked out, and we'll get started. I'll let Colt pause the video here in just a second. He's helping me out again, and we'll showcase these things and see what they got. So give us just a minute. We'll get set up, and we'll give them to you. All right, so like I said, we're going to probably start with the GTO. This one is a 2024, I believe. No way, it's 21. That can't be right. It may be. I'm not really sure. I can't remember when I bought a bunch of these. Some of them were store grabs. Some of them were. I'm pretty sure this one wasn't. I think I got this one. Don't tell me, or don't ask me. But nonetheless, here's the set. I know they have a newer variant of this Triumph because it was hanging on the pegs and targets, and the Fairmont too. I think there's something going on with this. Maybe it's a licensing for a casting or something. Yeah, it's got 2022 stuff. I don't know. Anyway, this is car 1 out of 8 for this one. 66 Pontiac GTO. I watched a video on a guy do a wheel swap on this thing. And I was really impressed at the color of the paint. I mean, I'm a purple fan, and no, that's not in relation to LSU or anything weird like that. God, I can't stand the Tigers. But I like it on castings, not necessarily on real life vehicles, but on diecast, there's just something about it. So again, this is a double diecast variant. I really love it when they do this because it makes you feel like you get a little more value for your money. These things are only like, I think, $3 or $4, the Ultra Hots, but anyway, they just roll out better. They feel better in your hand, and I don't know, it's a quirk of mine. Call it what you want. All right, let's get it under the light, get a better look at it. All right, so what I do like about this one, I'm not sure if all the Ultra Hots have it, but detailing on the rear lenses and the trunk lid, deck lid. The front's got nice detailing too. This is it, man. I'm really glad I cut this one out because if this thing had a wheel swap on it, I mean, the Ultra Hot has the signature wheels like that. They'll stay like that for a while, but eventually this thing will swap. Man, this thing just looks, it looks so great. I mean, the Ultra Hot graphic on this one really works in the color in conjunction with the purple. So if it gets some nice wheels, eventually it'll be a real treat. All right, so back at it, we're going to do the 71 AMC Javelin. Car 3 out of 8 in its series. And it should be the same one with this GTO. Yeah, it is. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe these are from 2021 or 2022. I gave this car up a while back. I'm kind of regretting it. And I never have gotten this one. I definitely want that one. And I still have yet to find it. Even really on Facebook posts and what have you. And of course, the other car in this series is going to be this Firebird. This one right here. So let's see what we got. It's going to be a toss-up for me, I think, on this GTO and this Javelin, because I love the AMC cars. They were definitely the non-contender for a lot of people, because they weren't one of the big three. But a lot of engineering marvel geniuses involved with these cars. I want to say in 71 or 2, Alabama had these state trooper cars, and they were known to do 180 miles an hour. Took them a month of Sundays to get there, but again, double diecast. I like that. 2010 Chrysler Group license on the casting. Interesting. All right, let's check it out on the Woodward. All right, just like the GTO, this one's really no exception. It's got some real nice detail on the front and rear. The grille is much better on this one than it is on the GTO, in my opinion. That way here again. See that? Anyway, what's cool about this casting is I have the Hot Wheels Premium in the 50th anniversary of this same model. It's a little bit different colored, but the detailing on the front of the grille is almost identical to that car. So it's good to see they have a little bit, that kind of carries on from their mid-grade cars to their premiums. Man, this thing is sweet. That blue's got a lot of flop. All right, it's going to be the 80s Pontiac Firebird. Doesn't give it a exact year model. If I had to guess, this is probably like a 84 or 5, somewhere in there. Oh, look at that, it is double die cast. This is car 6 out of 8. Same series as the other two. I just did that, not planned, but just pure coincidence. I think I kept these 3 because they were metal base, double die cast models. It's on my nerves. They could polish these up a little bit since they are kind of a premium car, more or less. I mean, why can't the bottom look as good as the top or close to it, right? Gotta love that catalytic converter, huh? Whew. This thing was a real tire shredder. These cars were almost anemic, the power they had, I'm being honest. All right, let's get a better look at it. I don't think they probably would have made this car a lot better, in my opinion, is if they would have toned down the gold or yellow or implicated tan on the interior. Uh, the ultra hot paint design on this car is actually kind of fitting for the car, the casting, and the timeline. I like that it's that much different than the other two. But God, that interior is it is Ralph. I mean, it does fit the gold wheels and the gold bird and what have you, but man, it needs to have some black tones in there or something. It's just a little much. Being that the interior is so exposed because it's got clear lenses, no side windows like the other two. Now the Javelin has glass in the sides. No, I don't. But the T-tops really open up a better view of the interior, which really kind of hurts it in my opinion. But hey, it is what it is, as we say, right? Still nice. I'm glad I kept these 3. They'll go great in the collection. All right, last is going to be the Buick Regal GNX. I can't believe I called this thing Monte Carlo earlier, but this is the one that was a gift in that mystery box. It's a plastic base, but I still love these cars. I'm stuck, This has a set of, and I have not seen any of these, and this one's saying it's a 2021. The Cyclone probably be cool, but it's double die cast. The Olds 442, someone was asking for one of those, needing one. I obviously hadn't seen one. And it's interesting that the 71 Plymouth GTX, the one above the car we have here, it's got more of a standard wheel on it. El Camino as well. Car 7 out of 8. This is the case. I don't know. We'll see. Tilt it down a little bit so we can see what we're doing. Hopefully this thing will tump over while we're cutting it open. Plastic. Tight. It's like a root beer. Stand by. I'm going to play with the angles on the camera a little bit tonight. I kind of raised the tripod up a little bit and gave it a tilt to see if that'll kind of help see more of the top of the car. I had it down a little low earlier, and I apologize. This thing actually looks a little better than I thought it would. And I'll say that a lot, but it didn't look that good when I got out of the package. But now looking at the way this red ties in with the flop of that root beer maroon paint, this is actually really nice. Detail on that grill is remarkable, and that's exactly what those cars look like. And that's about as close to a G-body Buick you can get. Very nice. This one definitely needs a wheel swap. This thing had some big spoke wires on it, or some nice big 5-spoke chromes, or anything but these. But still, it'll stay like this for a while. Very, very gracious for this gift. I have not seen one of these. I was glad to get it, and it'll go with the others just well. All right, it's Honda time. We'll get the, I wouldn't say the worst one, but probably the least desired one out of the way first. This is marked as 21. Hot Wheels J Imports. It's a 92 hatchback Civic EG. 95 out of 250 for that year, and it's number 4 out of this sub-series. This one doesn't have anything on the rear to write home to mama about, if you will, but it's a Honda hatchback. You gotta love it for what they are. Just basically do this to show you all the undercarriage. We'll go straight to the carousel. Not too bad. Fuel cell on the back. All right, nothing fancy. Like I said, the rear's pretty plain. It's got some big scratches on the lenses, rear window, and we saw that. The front looks good. I actually kind of like the side tempo livery on this one. Something different. These cars definitely look a lot better when you put wheel swaps on them. But it'll go straight in the JDM import collection with all the rest of them. Very nice addition. These things are kind of hard to fetch and get a hold of. All right, I know some of y'all have seen this thing, and you probably even have it for that matter. This thing is fire. I mean, it has got everything you want in a Hot Wheels mainline. This says 21. It may be the same in the same sub-series as that previous car. 2 out of 10 for Hot Wheels J Imports. On the Civic Si, this is probably a 01, 02, maybe as late as or early as a 98 or 9, somewhere in there. There's a case. I'm dying to get this thing out. Like I said, the only one I have in this casting is that white one. It was in that other Honda video we did. Really nice detail on these cars. They have really good Tampo lenses front and rear. The wheels on this car, they're so-so. They're not my favorite, but carbon fiber hood. I love the red interior on these things. Nothing too fancy, but oh yeah. Let's check it out. Oh man, ain't that pretty? You gotta hand it to them. For a mainline, this thing is dope. I mean, it is. I don't even want to talk because I just want to sit here and look at this thing for a minute and allow you guys to do the same. Like I said, this is, if it wasn't for the wheels, you could almost consider this thing to be in line with like a Silver Series or a mid-grade car. Casted mirrors, like I said, detail in front and rear. Wheels aren't that great, but very, very, very nice mainline. Now I know why everybody has these and they don't want to let them go. And that paint is, man, it's like bathtub deep. Y'all in focus. This one may be a little too bright for these lights. You up there shining with the rest of the stars. Okay, so those of you who watch all my other videos about this series here, you knew that I was griping and complaining and moaning about how hard it was to get a hold of this one. And I just happened to come across some guy who had a post with a ton of Hondas, and I already had a bunch of them, and he had some that were a little too rich for my blood, as they say. But I saw he had this one buried in his pile of about 50 of them in an overall post, and I said, "Oh, I would almost pay whatever just to have that." I think he had it marked for $7 or $8. I sold to the man in the corner with the curly hair and the meat in his hand. Right? I'm so sick and tired of trying to find this car because every time I'd seen one, for the past year, they were $15 to $20, and I just that ain't my thing. So again, we opened the other 4 up. This is 24, the 90 Street Scene. And I know this thing is going to be sweet because everybody gets this thing and holds on to it. But I'm glad to get it. Again, I'm not really a completionist of sets unless it's one I really like. It's good to have a set if it's like that. But I really wanted to get this one. It was just, it completes me, And I'm not sure what really all the fuss was about besides it just being a hatchback, ED Civic. But let's see. Maybe the car will tell us. Plastic bottom, just like the other red one. Let's get a better look. Okay, I kind of get it. It's not, oh my God, like, look at that. But it is nice. The black and red, obviously make it desirable just to fit on this casting and this body style. The wheels are a nice touch. They're not the greatest, but they do fit the rest of the cars from this series. But it's nice. I mean, I understand why everybody wanted to scalp it, but set it free, man. Set it free. If you got one, bust it out. This thing definitely belongs on display in a garage or on a shelf, pocket rider, whatever. Okay, so we'll throw this one in the mix here. Been wanting to crack this one open for a while. This is a 99 or 98. 98, collector number 915. This is a series it's in. The other cards it has. Again, metal base, double die cast. Number 4, I had 26 for the first editions. Some of you are probably going to cringe for me doing this, but I don't care. They're mine. I own them. Do what you want. That's what they're for, man. You know, if this was a 10-year-old kid, you wouldn't really care if you didn't know any better, right? I think a lot of these got stained because they've been in the packaging so long. You see a lot of the plating starting to kind of show through. But look at the undercarriage of this thing. That is exactly how a 70 Chevelle would have been. Big old 12 bolt in the back, true duals. Oh, yeah. Not bad, HW. Not bad. All right, there you have it. A really nice car for a 98, year run model. Obviously, they didn't do a whole lot of detailing on them back then, but if this car would have been done or treated up like a special series or silver series car, and this thing had the treatment front and rear and had a little detailing on it, it'd be next to perfect. This is a period correct wheel for the cars by Hot Wheels at the time. It was probably the most fitting wheel choice they could put on them. Then it's still a nice car. I'm not discrediting this thing at all. This car model is up there with the 69 Camaro, the first gen Mustangs. I mean, when you think of Chevrolet Chevelle, it is definitely a 1970 SS, big block most of the time. I prefer a 69 myself. 2 friends of mine had them. One was a Malibu that was no slouch. I mean, that car was sick nasty for what it was. And the other friend of mine had a big block 396 4-speed car that, man, we terrorized some streets and tarmac and that thing. But the 70 is just, it's so iconic. I mean, there's supposedly a commercial that my dad told me about. I never actually saw it. I could probably look into it and find it. It was the white one with the black belts. And it was basically a mechanic who had this thing parked outside the garage, and he was wiping his hands on a red shop rag or something. And they did a little skit saying, "Oh, hey, yeah, I'm here to work on this and that." And my dad always talked about that commercial saying, "Man, that will pull you towards that model of Chevelle, just the way that car looked on TV, back then when he was a teenager. He was probably 15 at the time. But it's nice, man. I don't have any complaints. It could be a little bit better, but for a 1998 model Hot Wheels, it fits the bill. All right. I'm sure you guys have seen these on the shelves. 81 Camaro. I really like these cars. My dad had a 79 right before my mom had that Firebird. I never actually saw the car because I wasn't born yet. And I didn't think there was a picture of that car, but it was GM Metallic Brown, the same car that was more or less of her Firebird, and same thing as my Blazer from that year. But I always had a shine of these cars. They were a little hideous in their own way, but this was the car you got, during the oil crisis and all that BS that happened back then. And they had style, man. They were big tire in the rear most then. In the 80s, they were the same way. Just it's a real treatment from my childhood because these things were running the streets, when I was a kid in the late 80s and early 90s. This is one from this series I opened up. But yeah, I have the T2 pickup opened up. I haven't found the Honda Civic Si. I think the Porsche is a double diecast. I passed on the Celica because I wasn't really trying to get these unless they were double diecast. But I do like the BMW, the other car we have here, and this pink on this one just really it pulled me in. I couldn't deny it. I had to give it passage. So detailing on it was pretty nice too. It has real nice headlamps and the rear tail lamps on this one. And the color variant's nice, like I said, too. So on the bottom. Could be a little better, but oh man, look at that, open headers. Nice touch. Yeah, there ain't no muffler there. This one's being a little stubborn, just wanting to roll around back and forth on the turntable, but she's looking pretty right, man. I gotta admit. Very nice. That thing is super shiny, and the gloss on the paint is it's great. It's one of the better cars we've looked at tonight, and I'm looking at it under the lens and the naked eye, and it's up there with them ultra hots. So I'm not sure if these hot ones are all going to be like this good. I think the BMW M1 Pro car is a little more flat, maybe a little more Zamek-ish, if you will. But this is sweet. I even like the wheel choice because it's kind of fitting for this era of car. This one should have been double diecast, in my opinion. I'm not gonna be biased, but I am because this car is just that nice. Okay, last one. Like I said, the BMW M1. For those of you who don't know a lot about it, it's got a pretty interesting story. From what I remember, I think it's like a really large displacement inline six. It's like 300 horse or something. And I believe these things came out in like 80 or 81. 80, I think. And they were not cheap. And I know Dennis Collins and his group, they did a full restoration on one. And if I remember right, they were saying that the restoration of that car was in, mid six figures. And granted, it was literally a nut and bolt, and they had special this and that, and the plating on some of the bolts and hardware, were very different than most cars they restore. Okay, so this one's a double die cast. So that's one reason why I bought it. It's not bright colored, but it's painted black. And that's exactly why I bought this car, besides what it is. Because I have some older M1. I actually just sent one to Custom Kentucky, if you will. He's got a little note on what I want done to it up on it. And I have another one that's in my collection, in the BMW collection, that's kind of, it's so. I'm not really ready to let it go yet to get stripped and torn apart and, repurposed, if you will. But I love this thing. It's got a blend of so many different manufacturers from that era, and they were really trying to compete. It's a shame they didn't make more of them. All right, this one's a toss-up for me between these two hot ones. That Camaro is nice, but the more and more I look at this one, and the color being so different than, hell, a lot of the diecasts that I have, and look at those taillights. I mean, those things, they're nice on both cars, but this thing, it's just got so much going on. It's so busy, but if you look at it in different views, it's just so simple, and it works. I like that they put one on the door, for the BMW M1. It's a nice one, and you're not going to find it everywhere. I think I've seen one, maybe two, since I bought this one. If you find these and you just don't really care about it, buy it, spend the $3, get it out of the package, and check it out. It's worth it. And if you don't really care for it, give it to somebody who appreciates it, because this thing it's really, really nice. Well, that'll conclude this one for tonight. About 34 minutes and change right now, so we'll wrap it up with a, in conclusion, synopsis, if you will. I'll, depending on what time it is right now and how I feel, if I want to stick it out and get these other four done, I might do them tonight just to give y'all some more content to watch, because it's going to take me a little while to do the Porsches tomorrow. Like I said, at least probably 2 parts, maybe 3, depending on how long they run. I have them kind of mixed up right now to where they'll maintain the peaks of interest, if you will, from different years, different models, different variations. So we're not going through a bunch of recent mainlines, but I hope y'all enjoyed this one. Had a little bit of different flavor in it. I'm glad that everybody got to see some of these out of the package, because some of these cars, obviously, you see, um, that they're only a couple years old, and you can get your hands on them. And obviously, these new hot ones, they're fresh on the shelves, as of probably 3 or 4 months ago. So, thank you again for watching Diversified Diecast. Appreciate y'all's time, y'all's interest, and y'all's love, and everything all around related to this. And we'll crank out some more content and get it uploaded. And this one's coming home on the press tonight. Hope you enjoy. Have a good night.